It is just so calm and peaceful. I just wanted to take a moment and enjoy that for a few more seconds before saying hello, garden friends. How are you? It is officially summer, officially hot. So this nice overcast day I thought would be a great time to walk around and just show you some things that I have been working on. This area in particular has quickly become one of the most favorite impromptu things that I have ever done. I'm loving this kind of makeshift parterre and how it is filling in. And you'll notice right away the big difference in the center. I have one of the obelisks that Mark built for me last year, and I put it in the center. Now with that is going to come a bunch of other changes, but I don't want to focus on that. Today I want to focus on how I'm starting to create my vision, my cottage garden, my formal cottage garden, just, mixing in all the elements of things that I like together. So starting here at this parterre, I put the obelisk here and I started kind of thinking about what I wanted to see here. I transplanted a rose that I love into the center, and I very quickly changed my mind. I'm getting to that point in my garden journey, just in life in general, where I want to start like really thinking through things carefully before I do it, and not changing so very much. You guys have seen me change a lot over the years. Now I'm trying to build strong foundations, strong roots, and build upon that. So that's my hope. In moving the obelisk here, it became really clear to me that this is where it belonged. I took it down on a whim. One of the, I had two behind me in the space behind me, kind of flanking the walkway, which made sense when this was the vegetable garden. But then things just started to not make sense. So I took one of them down and I kind of just placed it right on top of the little sundial that was in the middle there. And as soon as I did, it clicked. And, you got that spark. And all of a sudden I said, yep, this is where it belongs. Let's talk about the plants in this area. I am, so enjoying. Everything is filling in so wonderfully. You can see the bees buzzing all around as all these plants are just filling in so beautifully. I've got that gorgeous mealy cup sage. I have some little mini white petunias skirting around in there. And of course the boxwoods are starting to fill in. Those are Bishop of Dover dahlias, which are starting to finally bulk up. I make a lot of changes at not the best times in the season. And a lot of that is due to my schedule, my home schedule, my children. And it seems like a lot of times I'm rebuilding and reinventing the wheel when it's actual garden season. So things don't have a chance to really bulk up, or I put things into shock and then it takes a full season for them to recover. So you can see the vision is starting to come together in this space. I just added, I love like little whimsical cottage garden accents. I've had that bunny for so long, and just an old galvanized watering can. And that's just like picture perfect to me. It is exactly, that little hint of charm that I love. So super happy with this space. I've got the coral colored geraniums. You can see right there, buds all over those. This is some yellow coreopsis, moonbeam coreopsis. Look how pretty. And like I've been saying, it doesn't take long for these small quart shrubs to fill in super fast and get that diamond shape going in the center and a more defined edge. Even as it is now, it's so fresh and green and pretty. Oh gosh, it's starting to drizzle. That's okay. So I've got my cafe au lait dahlias along here. I did lose one of them, and this one was very chomped back. I had a lot of critter activity earlier on, and as I said, I moved things before they had a chance to get established and kind of set them back. But now things are back on track, and I think we're going to be good. I'm starting to add the stepping stones here. I think I talked to you about that in my last video maybe. But yes, I'm starting to think about what I want to do as far as paths and laying things like that down. Just really, really pleased with this space in general. And just to walk you over here, because I do want to show you just kind of what's happening. So this is where the obelisk was. I really had to think this through, because, it's a chain reaction. When you change one thing like this, that's a large structure here, you got to figure out then, what am I going to do with this space? We may leave them here. I don't have a concrete plan, but I do have some ideas, and I will share that with you in the next video, and Mark will be helping me with that. So these might stay. I was going to pull them out, but they might stay. Just the height here, I felt like it was starting to become too much. I was starting to feel kind of like closed in by my own design. Starting to feel kind of claustrophobic, like too many structures. I've got the arbor right here. So having that other tall structure right here was just, I don't know. It wasn't making me feel good. So I moved it. If it's not feeling good, you should change it. Absolutely. These are making me feel very happy. This is my Echinacea purpurea, which I love like beyond. It's my favorite Echinacea, and it's so tall. The pollinators absolutely adore it. As you can see, I love it. It's taller than me right now. I'm 5 foot, so that's not, saying an awful lot, but you can see it's tall. It's a tall blooming Echinacea. I planted a bunch of this along the fence in the back garden there, and it's just a favorite. I did just have to pull out one because it was showing signs of Echinacea rosette, which I had not been familiar with in the past. It's a mite that infects your plants, so I pulled it. It's different than rose rosette, but I pulled it. I at first thought it was aster yellows. It was not, so I removed that. There was another plant right here, but all of these look so healthy. I didn't want to take a chance and leaving one that didn't look healthy, so I took it out. You can see the window box is looking so pretty right now. All of my hydrangeas are filling in. My Bobo hydrangeas are just starting to open. I kind of love this area because you've got the limelights, you've got the limettas rather, on either side here, and those are earlier blooming. And I'm telling you, these things just have staying power and have been blooming for weeks now. They're so good. I do have some little supports in there just to keep them a bit upright, that you can't see. They're kind of hidden. But then you've got the Bobo hydrangea that has the more panicle blooms and comes in later. So you've got the same color, and I just think it just, it gives a nice variation to have, the panicle blooms that come in later on with these, because these will start to fizzle out a little bit, and then the Bobos will pick up where those left off. This Pugster Blue has been absolutely remarkable. I do need to remove some of the spent blooms, but this has been, oh my gosh, just blooming and blooming and looking just tremendous. So I will come along. You don't have to, but I'll come along and trim off some of these spent blooms. And when you do that, you can see, look, how there's fresh blooms that come out on either side that will just fill in. Look, I can see a couple more roses starting to fill in on the Benjamin Britten rose there. I do need to get in here and fertilize my containers and my window boxes. I fertilized the annuals I just showed you, the geraniums and the sage and everything the other day. But this is a work in progress. I just did want to show you that. And of course, this area is a work in progress. I'm really all about, not looking over there right now, because this is a big enough mess to show you guys. So, I told you I was working on some sheet mulching in this area. I can't even believe that there used to be a tree here. It's just incredible to me. So you can see we're starting to define an edge. It looks like absolute mess right now because I started digging up turf, and then we had tons of downpours. So it made for kind of a mucky mess. And hello, Robin. It made for kind of a mucky mess that needs to be redefined now. But so I have a lot of plants that I want to plant, and I had initially I had initially started with the sheet mulching. Some of these bare areas you can see I had laid the cardboard, but then, you know, I just got to get these plants in the ground. And then I started thinking about, if you'll remember, I talked about adding a little pond. That's still a thought. So I'm digging out the turf. It's such a small area that, you know, it won't be too bad. Just a tip for you guys, if you have any turf like this that you're digging up, sometimes what I'll like to do is I'll take like a large chunk like that and I'll face the grass side down and then fill in any gaps that might be under my fence. I've done that a lot of times where there might be, you know, areas that need to be filled in, where you might have a, you know, you're leaving an entryway for all the critters to come in. I will pack upside down, dug up turf under my fence, and it really does help, and it decomposes then that grass that's laying face down. You just throw a little bit of mulch over it and it'll just break down. That's one way to get rid of some of your mulch if you have, I'm sorry, it's one way to get rid of some of your turf and sod. I like to call this my How's It Growing blend. A blend of weeds and clover and, you know, all sorts of good things. But this area is just looking like a dream, beautiful right now. All kinds of echinacea, the verbena, my alliums are really coming into bloom right now. Still loving this verbena vervain. Love that plant. The hummingbird mint is looking tall and beautiful. It smells so nice. So yes, that's where we're at now. Thinking about a small pond or water feature to help me dig up some of this turf. I have been using my power planter and making some holes, and it just kind of breaks up the soil a little bit. And then, you know, as I'm lifting it, it's not as difficult to dig it out. Of course, you know, there's sod cutters and things like that. But again, I mean, this is a little space. I do not enjoy digging turf. That is for sure. I did not dig turf here. I used the sheet mulching with the cardboard, and it has truly worked out fabulous. Now, I did pop in some cupcake and saucer cosmos right here, but now I may move those. See, that's how we do things around here. I planted them because they were looking really unhappy, and I kind of want them in another area now. So, you know, we'll see. I might leave them here just because I don't want to completely torture them. But let me tell you, I was not expecting it to be so plantable. I think I sheet mulched this maybe 6 weeks ago, something like that, and I didn't find a stitch of grass in there. Everything was ready to plant, you know, and I didn't see any grass. Of course, you know, there's little bits of grass here and there along. What is that? I'm sorry, I hear a little bird over there. There's little bits of grass along the edge here, and you can even see a little piece of cardboard popping out there. That'll all decompose and break down. But when I dug my shovel in here, and when I used my power planter for these, because they were like little plugs, it just whipped right through it. There was no grass to be seen, which was really, really nice. This little area is looking good. I've got some sunflowers and thumbergia. I did plant a couple, hold on, I'm thinking of it, a couple labyrinth dahlias along here, and yeah, they're starting to get big back there behind the sunflower. I think things are really kind of starting to fill in this little bed. I love it so much. I just harvested my garlic. I'm so excited. You guys know I was worried because I transplanted my garlic from the old raised beds that were in the driveway area, and I did not expect them to make it, and they all made it. I just a beautiful harvest. And I have about 12, you know, I have 12 heads of garlic, which is 12 more heads of garlic than I had before. I love, you know, even if it's not some huge thing, like I can cook a bunch with 12 really nice heads of garlic, and I just love the process. You know, I love planting that clove in fall and watching it grow. It's just so much fun. That was all in this bed here. Oh, this bed looks so pretty right now. It really does. Like, shocked that this was not here just a couple months ago. I can't believe it. I really can't. You know, I think as gardeners, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we look at all the weeds and all the things, and, you know, there's even some little weeds all in here. I am my own worst critic, I think. I did just pull out the pansies that were in this pot. So you guys know pansies can't take the sweltering heat. I didn't bother to pot them up and try and save them. It was only a few little pansies there. But I planted some dragon wing begonias in here, and they are really pretty. Really, really pretty. My little strawberry in my pot here. I've got my borage. The calendula is looking so, so pretty. I love calendula. In all the stages, they come out with these little fat buds when they're starting to bloom, and then as they open, I just think they're so, so pretty. And of course, zinnias, one of my absolute favorite flowers. They are so giving. I do have a couple little pansies in here still that are being kind of shrouded by the cabbage there. My tomatoes are looking okay. Tomatoes stop producing when it gets like sweltering hot, like 90-degree weather. They're really not putting out too much. So these are not bad. You know, I have a few I can pick on there, but this one came up as a volunteer. So last year I had this tomato plant in my prior vegetable garden, and it is, I'm sorry, try and focus here. Gardener's Delight heirloom. I got that from Burpee, and I can't remember if I planted it from seed or no, I did not plant it from seed because I have a plant tag there. But the plant dropped, obviously, some little tomatoes last year, and look at this, the best looking tomato in my garden right now. One of the reasons for that is it is sheltered here from the extreme heat, so it is looking a lot happier than some of the other ones that have been getting pounded by all this rain, all the humidity. It's kind of in its own little microclimate back there. I was going to move it, and then I'm like, no, it's happy there. I know as soon as I move that thing, it's going to get angry, so I'm just going to leave it. It's very humid out right now, as a matter of fact. And I thought you guys would find this funny. So in the greenhouse here, I still have some things that I need to pot up. And to protect them, I used my little patio umbrella. So I've had this umbrella for ages. We got it when my niece and nephew were visiting from Connecticut many years ago. I'm sure I got it probably from Bed Bath & Beyond. I get a lot of questions about this umbrella. It is cute. But just to give you a time frame of time reference, my niece and nephew were toddlers at the time, and my nephew Ian just graduated high school. Oh, God, it's just unbelievable how fast time flies. Time just keeps on ticking. But anyway, I love this umbrella, and my boys have used it for years now. I've got lemons coming in hot. I've been using this sink like crazy. I just love it. What can I say? Mark is a keeper, and this sink has been such an asset to my garden, such an asset to this greenhouse. I have just enjoyed it tremendously, like beyond. The greenhouse has been marvelous this season for me. I really feel like I'm doing so much more in here, especially because of this wonderful sink that Mark made. I love it. Yeah, everything is looking just lovely. Oh, I did prune the heck out of my olive tree. I'm trying to make more of like a topiary ball out of it. So we'll see how that goes, but it was all kinds of floopy and had branching all over it. You can see new growth is starting to pop out on this branch here. So my ultimate goal for down the line is to have this be like a ball up top, I think, and a little bit more tame. But, ooh, it's hot in here. So I'm going to get out of here. It's way too humid. Look at this. My clematis is just taking off up there. But that's my little update. Oh, before I go, you know what? I'm not going to go right now. I'm going to take you out front because I want to show you what I just planted out front because I think it's really exciting. Still nothing going on over here. I have plants waiting. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm in pond mode. I don't want to get too nuts with the pond. I've had a pond before. I grew up with ponds. I know every ounce of work that goes into those This is a pretty little area right now. Every ounce of work that goes into those, and it is a lot. We had a little pond with a waterfall, and it was beautiful. We had koi, but then we got the addition put on, and the addition is now on top of where that pond once was. So it's taken about 10 years, but now that the boys are getting bigger, we're starting to kind of reestablish things we had that we want to put back again. But I don't want a big pond, something small in the mixed border of perennials there, and just a little something, and maybe a few goldfish. I don't even think any koi. You know how these things go, and I don't want it to turn into some monstrosity or huge project. And it's hot, and our garden is like full sun in the afternoon, so I'm trying to time things. Oh, there's a FedEx truck. I'm trying to time things so that we can fit it in. It's a nice overcast day today, so maybe we can get some more turf removed. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to take you out front. Okay, how about that? Oh, as we are walking over here, I did just want to show you my Sprinter boxwood hedge. I gave it its first really real trim the other day, and it is looking very lovely, very healthy, very good. I do have, and I just cut these back so they're scraggly looking. I had planted cat's pajamas nepeta in between all of the boxwoods there. I'm going to remove those because, well, firstly, I liked the look because it kind of softened the edge here with those, you know, purple flowers. And I love that look. But the problem is, sorry, that was FedEx truck. But the problem is, you can see it's creating holes here, and it's not giving enough space for these plants to live together without causing a problem. I want a thick hedge here, and I want this to fill in, and that nepeta was taking up, you know, where you see those gaps. So I'll move this around, maybe in the pond area. Maybe if I keep saying pond enough, it'll actually just magically happen. Wouldn't that be nice? But so yeah, the nepeta will come out because I love this cat's pajamas nepeta. It's a wonderful perennial. It's not happy here. And it's causing, you know, issues and gaps with the boxwood. So this area is so overgrown, but I had to show you. So these are obviously black-eyed Susans that just self-seeded from my neighbor's black-eyed Susans. And I feel like they planted themselves here. It's like, look, we don't want to see the air conditioner either. So if you're not going to move it and you're not going to hide it, we're just going to plant ourselves here, okay? We'll do the work for you. I left them there. I thought that they looked really pretty. And then you've got weeds galore, as you can see, all sorts of crabgrass and things. But you can only do so much. I can only do so much. And I do the important things. And the crabgrass is not on my important list at the moment. It's starting to look pretty out here again, you guys. It was sorely neglected for a while, and things are really starting to fill in. I saw Linda has pineapples. So she always had her pineapples, but now she has a step, Linda Votter at Potager Blog. I know you guys know her, but she has 2 pineapples, and it kind of made me chuckle. I put these here a couple years ago, and now that she's moved into her new cottage, she has some. Obviously, hers are a little bit larger than mine, and she has a bigger pathway than I do. But it kind of reminds me of that kind of style, and I think it's really pretty. But my little perennial border here is looking so pretty, so pretty. I have to take down, I hung a little pennant here for the 4th of July. I have to take that down. I did have some buntings up, but I don't like to leave things like that linger too long. So I'm going to go ahead and take everything down today. But you guys know, I removed those large yews that were overgrown on the side right here. This is just a phase 1, so you'll have to bear with me and use your imagination. So those large yews came out, and I planted the rhododendron in the corner that I've been telling you about. I love a nice rhododendron here in the corner. This whole front garden when I moved in was actually all rhododendrons and azaleas in the front. It was so bulky though, and they were so overgrown that those came out. Oh my gosh, that airplane is so loud. So loud. It's like that all day. We're near the Philadelphia airport. So anyway, okay, Be quiet, Flane. I'm talking to my garden friends. Stop it. Okay, so we've got the rhododendron there in the corner, just, you know, your classic purple rhododendron. And then I did put in an early blue hydrangea, and I miss having blue hydrangeas in my garden. I used to have quite a bit more shade in my back garden, and I had some blue hydrangeas and I removed them because the situation changed and trees changed and lighting changed. So now I'm starting to, like I said, again, add things back that we have missed. So this is early blue, blooms on new and old wood. And I think it's going to fill in this space beautifully. This was here. This is autumn lily, encore azalea. It's a goodie. I've had this one several years, but so it's nice and established, but it was kind of crammed here in this corner and like smashed into the yews. It was just totally wrong. And now I think those plants are going to fill in beautifully. And we get morning sun facing here. So that hydrangea is going to do great there. I know it. It's just going to be the perfect spot. Window boxes looking beautiful still. And really, I just dug this whole area up yesterday. So you can see it is absolutely work in progress. You can see, you know, the native sandy soil just kicked about there, but I do have a little mulch here in the front. This is, you know, we all get influenced, right? We all get influenced. I was super influenced by my friend Erin at the Impatient Gardener. I pointed her for this one entirely. She has been showing this gorgeous rosy teacups dogwood on her feed, and I love dogwoods, so I had to have one. And initially I was going to plant it in the backyard, but again, things changed, and I kind of started rethinking things because I had this whole space opened up. And I thought, how beautiful will it be to have this rosy teacups kind of, you know, cascading over this way, because I have on the other side my favorite that I never stop talking about, Venus dogwood. So I think having those dogwoods frame the porch at each corner would be really, really beautiful. It's a little tiny thing right now, but you know, these things, the great thing about plants is they grow. The great thing about trees is they grow. We just have to be a little patient. And before you know it, I will have a beautiful dogwood at each corner of the front porch. So that is my update. That's what we're doing, all the fun things we're doing in the garden right now. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button and see all the updates that will be coming, hopefully this season. We'll see. I make no promises, but I do promise you this. I will be back and I will keep you updated along the way.